All right. So 3 weeks in, I kind of want to retract a little bit to what we're here for, what I'm here for. And the main reason being that alcohol has become such a big part of my life and a big part of my friends' lives, and basically everybody that I've ever known in any event I've ever gone to, and it's just everywhere. And I don't think that's a problem, but I definitely think that for me to live as long as I want, that I need to do something about it. So I'm gonna start. And that's why every week I try to come here and just kind of release everything that I've learned for the past week, and kind of just release it. Not like a journal. I have a journal for myself. That's not what this is. This is going to be reflecting and growing. And this is Dash. So what we're here for, what's my point? I want to learn how to not drink for every single occasion, every weekend, every celebration. There's got to be another way. And I know people are interesting. I know I'm interesting, so I know that that's not it. I do kind of know that I like who I am when I drink. Like, I'm just more outgoing, I'm more fun, I'm funny. And I think that's how it is for everyone. We all kind of enjoy the way that we are when we're drunk, and that is the reason behind it, above many, many, many others. So I got a ton of good insight this week. Literally anybody that I spoke to about this, about what I'm trying to do, about what I'm learning about, I got so much good insight. And literally the tip from tips, tricks, and what the fuck is this, literally was use your resources. So I took my own advice for like once ever in my life, and used my resources. I reached out to friends. I reached out to some family. I didn't pull all the cards right away, but I did, let my dad know that I'm kind of going to be discussing what I'm doing. And the things that he said, I basically wrote down word for word, because when he said it, I was like, I wasn't sure that I was going to bring this up to you right away, but then I did, and he had so many good things to say. And I literally wrote them down. So I'm here to bring them to you because tip number 1 was use your resources. I did that, and now I'm going to relay the message. Basically, the idea of it was to not give up on yourself. Do what you can right now. Be in the moment. And give yourself time to feel, give yourself time to heal. Literally, I've always said my entire life, like, you have to go through it to get to it. And that's why people always say there's never sunshine without the rain, or whatever the rainbow saying is. We're not gonna get too far into those cliches again. But you have to like feel the bad things to get to the good. And there's ways to get there without drinking. I just know there is, because not everyone in the world is an alcoholic, but everyone in the world has problems. So I know that there's ways to get through it. And I know that I haven't always used alcohol when I'm upset. Sometimes I'll throw things. No, I'm just kidding. I don't get too violent when I'm mad. I don't get mad very often either. But that's besides the point. And you can't really, back to what I was saying, you can't doubt yourself. When you're trying to heal, you can't doubt that what you're doing isn't right. You can't get down on yourself for not thinking you're doing it the right way. There is no right way. Everyone heals differently, and everyone goes through grief, the grief process, which I learned a lot about this week. I'm not going to get too far into it because I want to learn more. I only read about 6 steps, and I've been seeing that there's more, so I don't want to talk about something that I don't really know about, even though I guess that's kind of what I'm doing. But at least I'm making that clear that I don't know exactly what's going on. So I think one of my favorite things that I did learn last week was, or not learned, but heard, was other people have survived and thrived, and you will too. I think I love that because you have to think about it. And everyone that is somebody or something or has what they want today didn't come from it. Not everyone did. Some people did, but a lot of people have to crawl out of the gutters, like, to get to where they want to go, and put in tons of hard work. Like, people have survived, people have thrived, people have done it. You can too, you will too. Don't even have to know what you want to do. You just have to trust and, like, let go, and let it happen, and just trust that it will. You can literally do anything you set your mind to. I think that the universe works a lot faster if you know what you want, but I don't think it's a necessary thing, because, you know, some things will just fall into your lap like fucking miracles. Like, literally, it'll just happen, and your brain will just be like, wait, was this like meant for me? And yes, it was, because that is how the world works. My cat is gonna break something, maybe, hopefully not. They like to push things off the counters. So, you know, let's think about this. To know what you want to do. And sometimes, you know, you want something to happen, but you're just being normal, you're being comfortable, everything is kind of how it is. You know you want more, you're not happy, you don't want to waste all of this time when you think you may have already wasted time, because that's kind of just what, you know, each stage of your life may feel like. I did all of this work, and this is what happened, and I put in all this work to this relationship, and this is how it turned out. It's not wasted time, it's a learning experience. This is what we're growing from. This is how this is how we grow. So how else do we grow? Something has to happen for you to want to change and for you to continue moving forward. So when something changes your reality, it shifts your perspective, and it doesn't have to be super intense either, or super life-changing. Mine was, and that's kind of what triggered all of this, is needing change, seeing that there's a problem, seeing that I'm not the only one. Like, I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Even if there's people that don't really talk about it, even if it's not even like visible or seen, it's just how it is. I want to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it. And I don't really know if anyone else wants to talk about it too, but anyone I bring it up to is like, oh, I've been reconsidering how much I drink, or I drink all the time and I get these crazy hangovers and blah, blah, blah. And like, just thinking about missed work, crazy nights, fights, you know, losing friends, losing family, like anything intense could happen. And then there's just that one thing that triggers, and you want to change. And this is the best part, to bring in the advice that I got from my dad. And like I said, I tried to remember it like quote for quote, because I loved it so much. And he said, all it takes is getting to the next breath. The next breath leads to the next minute, the next hour, the next week, the next month, and so on and so forth. And you just continue to go and try to get past, live in the moment, but keep working to get to that next moment, because you can keep progressing. And think about, you know, like, for what we're here for, we're thinking about alcohol. What's the next thing that you think about right after alcohol? So for me, I would guess that it would be, I would say it would be music. If I am freaking out and I need something to just calm me down, it wouldn't be to take a few shots or drink a few beers. I'm going to go listen to some tunes, try to relax, take a bubble bath, maybe not drive because we're upset. And I don't know how good of drivers y'all are when you're mad, but I definitely know it's not a good thing to do. But there's a lot of other things you can do to relax. So think about, what's the next thing that you think about other than drinking. I don't know that, you know, it's going to be the easiest thing to just do the next thing. But, you know, you don't have to fight it. It's just, you don't have to fight the fact that you want to drink, but maybe try to go to the next step of what else is in your brain that could help and otherwise. So, you know, focus on the moment, work on what you can right now. That's the biggest thing for today's topic, I would say, is just be present. You know, try to see what you can do to be happy in the now. Obviously plan for the future, do everything you can to set yourself up for happiness moving forward, but you really need to think about, you know, right now, how can you make the situation you're in, the friends that you have, the family that you get to you know, speak to, make the most out of it and be present and hold yourself accountable, but don't judge yourself. And realistically, you know, you need to think about the things that you are going through. If you don't move past them, in a sense, you're living in the past. And if you're living in the past, there's not a lot of room for improvement in the future. And that's sad. So I think that everybody should want to try to be happy. And maybe without substances. It's kind of the goal. And it's definitely doable. So this brings me to my favorite part, is tips, tricks, and what the fuck is this, number 2. So tip number two is going to be just accept who you are. It is so much easier said than done. It has taken me acting like I even have. No, I am still on a huge process of that. But I definitely will still use it as tip number 2, that accepting yourself will make life so much easier. Loving who you are for who you are, learning to do that, it'll help you so much just by taking those steps to train your mind to love yourself and to know that where you are right now is getting you to where you need to go. Like that. Be present. What you're doing right now is going to set you up for what you're going to be in the future. And just dealing with everything as it is. Like I used to not even want to think about that. I was so caught up about what other people thought of me that like it just, nothing even mattered to me. I just tried to pretend like I didn't care, even though I did care so much. So as I grow up now, I want to love myself and not give a shit about what anybody else thinks. And I think that should be the goal for everybody. Like, just live your life, be present, love who you are, try to get through every day, breath by breath, and just make the most out of it as you can. And try not to be a raging alcoholic at the same time. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I am going on vacation, not vacation so much, kind of, to Ohio to see my family. My brother's getting married and I'm a bridesmaid. So I am going to go on a little trip. I love to drink with my family. So like I said, I'm not exactly quitting. But maybe I'm going to try not to do the full send. I'm just going to, you know, sip it instead of, yeah. So until next time, we will.